normal distribution graph. Now, this will enable us to find the probability, right? So, what are the properties that are so important? Okay, so number one, the graph is symmetrical about the center line. The center line is the mean. Okay, the center line is the mean, and both sides are symmetrical. The one on the right hand side, the purple color, is called the upper tail. Okay, now this upper tail is symmetrical about the center line with the green side. The left hand side, the green side, is called the lower tail, and both of them, they are symmetrical about the center. First point. Second point, the area represents the probability. The area represents the probability. So because we know the total probability is 1, so the total area under this curve is equals to 1. Yeah, so these are the two things that you need to know. Right, we go on to the next characteristic. The next characteristic is this one, right? Area under the graph represents the probability. So let's say, for example, there are two vertical lines. One vertical line is A, another vertical line is B. So the area between A and B, the shaded area is the area between A and B. It represents the probability of X lies between A and B, right? So this area, the purple color area here, can be written like that. So this purple area is actually the probability of X between A and B. Now this is unlike the binomial distribution, where you can have probability of X equal to one value, equal to a certain value, X equal to 1, X equal to 2, X equal to 3. For normal distribution, you cannot have probability of X equal to a number. Cannot have, because X is a continuous variable. Unlike binomial distribution, X is a discrete random variable. So because it is a continuous random variable, so the probability of X between A and B is the same as the probability of X less than or equal to A, then less than or equal to B. So it means that whether there's an equal sign there, no equal sign there, the probability is still the same, because this is a continuous random variable, so the probability whether equal or no equal is the same. Okay, next one. So probability, we know the total probability is 1. The total probability is 1. So you know this total probability 1 and symmetry, then we can continue with how to find the probability, right? So I'm going to show you how to find the probability. Li Ying, you can read the example number 1.
Okay, teacher.
Ah,
The diagram on the right shows a normal distribution function graph which is symmetrical at x equal to 35. State the mean value. Express the shaded region in probability notation. If the probability of the shaded region is 0.64, find p x smaller than 28.
okay. Now, the first thing, we look at the graph. On the graph there are 3 numbers. The center number, the center line, the symmetrical line is 35. So from there, straight away, we know the mean is 35. Okay or not? So if you don't know anything also, never mind. You just look at the graph, the center part where you have this one, where this line, this center line here. Okay, now this line is the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is the mean. Then you look at this graph, there are two other numbers. Other than 35, you have 42. Now this 42 is the 7, the width is 7. Between 42 and 35, the width is 7. Okay. Then you also look at 28 here. Between 35 and 28, the width is also 7. This shows us that 28 and 42, they are symmetrical about 35 because both of them, they are 7 units away from 35. So if they are 7 units away from 35, that means 42 and 28, they are symmetrical about the center line. Okay, right. So the graph is symmetrical about the mean. So the mean must be 35 lah, because we look at the symmetrical line. If the symmetrical line is 35, the mean is 35. Then we look at the shaded region. The shaded region is between 28 and 42. Now this shaded region represents the probability of x between 28 and 42. In normal distribution, the area under the graph represents the probability. Area under the graph represents the probability. So the shaded region here is purple color, right? Represents what? The purple color area represents the probability of x between 28 and 42. But they told us the probability of the shaded region is 0.64, right? So what does this mean? Okay, so the total probability is 1. The non-shaded region here, the shaded region here, and the upper tail here. Okay, one more time. The lower tail here, not shaded one. The center region, purple color, and the upper tail, not shaded one. The three of them, you add them together, the probability is 1. The three of them add together, probability is equals to 1. So in symbol form, how are we going to write it? In symbol form, we are going to write it as probability of x be less than 28 plus the probability of x between 28 and 42 plus the probability of x greater than 42. You add all these three together, answer is 1, because the total probability is 1. And these three numbers, they actually represent the area of the tree region inside the graph. Okay, so now area less than 28, I don't know. Area at the center, I know, 0.64. Area of the upper tail, I don't know. So the three of them add together is 64. This is 1, sorry. So the area of the upper tail and the lower tail, you add together is equals to 1 minus 0.64. I just move this number 0.64 over to the other side, right? Over to the other side. So it's minus 0.64. And because they are symmetrical about the x35, that means the upper tail here and the lower tail here, the two areas, they are the same. They are the same because they are symmetrical. So if they are the same, what can I do? Right? Area greater than less than 28 is equals to the area greater than 42. The two of them, they are the same. So what can I do? So I say I just replace this 42 with 28 because area, they are same, right? So probability of less than 28 plus The other area here also same as the probability less than 28. They are equal to 1 minus 0.64. So twice the area of less than 28 is 0.36. These two areas add together is 0.36. Why 0.36? 1 minus 0.64. So if I want to know one area, how to find? Just divide by 2. So I divide by 2, I get 0.18. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Teacher,
No. Yes.
why from here, wait,
You use
eh?
your pen.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Right.
this one.
Ah.
Why become P probability X smaller than 28? Why both become the 28?
Because you see the graph here, you look at the graph here, this area here and this area here, they are the same, equal. They are equal. So I just write both of them area less than 28. Of course, the right hand side one is area greater than 42. But this area greater than 42 is the same as area less than 28 because of
So teacher, if the P X smaller than 28, both I replace with P PX larger
correct.
PX larger than 42 also can.
Can. But that is not what we want to find. We want to find less than 28. So I replace with
Okay.
28. Right? Can, actually correct. So you don't know, you can ask like this. Please ask. Please ask. Very good. So that means the two area is the same. You can add them up, become 2. So you want to find 1, you just divide by 2. Any more questions? Very good. Good question.